My name is Issa Ali, and you're watching The Beat Shine. The first record I ever bought was Timbaland's Bio. And it sounds crazy, man, but Timbaland is like a huge influence on me. And it's ironic, that I buy his record and me being a producer, you know what I mean? When it was like Ice Cube and all these people, Bone Thugs and Harmony coming up. But Timbaland's Bio was the first record CD I ever bought. And I was just amazed by the variety of beats and rappers and artists that he had on the album, and how he could go from hardcore, hip-hop, street, to R&B, all in the same album and transition perfectly. I mean, that to me was just amazing. So that was a huge influence as far as the very first thing I got that introduced me to rap. Growing up in Ohio, Bone Thugs and Harmony was huge. So I love Bone Thugs and Harmony. That's why Nas, I was introduced to Nas. Biggie, of course, Tupac, and all of them. Ice Cube was big when I was first coming up. But I grew up in an era where it was like, I caught both eras. I caught the end of the 90s, and then I caught the 2000s when I was like started flourishing myself. So it was like, I caught the golden era where it was like super lyrical, super conscious, and artistry and lyrics were really valued at the time and being different. And then I went into the party era, you know what I mean, where it was like, and it was more hype and crunk music and just like everybody's getting hyped to like club anthems, which is cool too. That has its own lane. So I feel like I was blessed to be able to grow up in both and see both eras and then be able to pull from both and create my own sound from it. The first piece of production equipment I got was a small Yamaha keyboard. It was like super small. And I used to be on that thing, and my parents used to go crazy because I used to be on that thing just hitting the little drum pattern on there, hit record, and just playing my notes on there like all night, every night. And then after that, I went from that to my friend, Charlie Osborne, CO. He had like a Triton keyboard and an actual drum machine. And I used to go over there in like 7th grade, and we used to actually record beats and make songs off of that. And then I got Fruity Loops, the program, early in high school. And after that, it was a wrap. Like I learned how to sample and everything on there and treat it like it's an MPC. And then from there, it was just, I was always attracted to poetry. Like when I was real young, I got to a writing contest for this MLK Day, and I won it. It was like a poetry contest, and I won that. And I just began writing more and more poetry. And actually, as young as in 5th grade, I used to start writing raps. I used to listen to Ice Cube, and I used to just start writing raps, like with that same style of Ice Cube. And, I used to get laughed at first, like 5th, 6th grade. Who wouldn't? You're a kid, you're not doing anything that you're really rapping about. But that's when I first started. And then from there, it seemed like it was just a part of me. Like I was always writing stuff. Like, and then making beats. On top of that, you're always, as a producer, most likely, you're always thinking about lyrics as you're making the beat. You're always thinking about the hook as you're making the chorus part of it. You're always thinking about the flow pattern as you're making the drum pattern. So, I mean, it was a natural thing, honestly. It was natural. Me and my friend started a group called Village Fam up in Ohio. And we started doing just a lot of shows. Like, we got on this hip-hop showcase one time, and a lot of people came out to support us, and they all loved it, and we was inspired, and we just kept going, and eventually we started opening for like acts like MC Light and Stally up in Ohio. Who was we up for? Wu-Tang members. I mean, we opened for a lot of people, so we were blessed to be able to find a lane and continue to grow. They love it because they know it's my passion, and they just want me to be happy. I went to school. I got a college degree. I got a master's degree, and I did that mostly for them, so they wouldn't be on my back about my passion, So after I did that, there's like, okay, you can do what you want to do after that, but just get that first. And I value that because people actually respect what I do even more now that I have knowledge and education to back it up. First time I went to the studio and met High Tech, I went to his studio and just listened to some of the stuff that they had in store. It was just like, I made it. I feel like I really made it just being in the studio with High Tech. Of course, my friend Dave Chappelle, him coming to, I think the biggest thing that happened to me, like, that really was like, I'm on to something big. I feel like I'm accomplishing something. Is when Dave Chappelle came to our show, to one of our shows. We had brought that artist Crooked Eye from Slaughterhouse to Ohio, and we had buzz going around like our group and what we were doing, and Dave. I saw Dave downtown. He was like, "Yo, I'm coming to the show tonight." I was like, "Really?" And I still didn't believe he would come. I was like, "He ain't coming to the show, man." This little, we had like the venue's like 200 people, capacity, but we packed the venue, and then here he comes. We packed the venue out, and he comes in there, and man, it was a night to remember. And ever since then, it's been like my expectations for myself have been just even higher and higher. So, just being able to express yourself, and making people feel good about your own expressions. Like, there's no better feeling than going to a show and seeing smiles on people's faces and seeing people dancing and seeing people bobbing their heads and enjoying themselves off of just you expressing yourself and you doing what you love to do. I think that's just the best feeling in the world, man, honestly. Just the fans, man. Honestly, it's the best feeling in the world, man. Being able to meet different people. I met Big Boy. I met Kanye West. Of course, Dave, them, High Tech. I mean, there's a lot of people I've met just throughout the years. And I think me doing what I'm doing allowed that to happen. Because, he wouldn't let me in that environment unless I could bring something. So, I think that's one of the main things, The legacy I want to leave behind is just that I gave the world some sort of healing through sound and through self-expression. I want people to listen to the things that I produce and things that I come out with 10 years from now and be like, yo, I still feel this sense of bliss, this sense of euphoria when I hear this sound. So I basically want to give them a timeless sound, and I want the world to just have some sort of healing from my sound and bring people together with it. So